Lobster got it back yet. Lobster's a 10 I told you grab it.
This video is brought to you by T-Blocks. Enjoy the content now, but stay for the shilling later.
Hey, welcome to Lobster Magnum Friends. I'm here with my buddy Goro.
I'm here to cure your cancer.
As you can see, he's
because
wearing
my
his,
girlfriend wants me to cure cancer, even though I don't have one.
He's yes, as you can see, he's wearing his Shishigami cosplay of Shishigami, the hero that we deserve. So let's go into this. What do you think of episode 6 of Inuyashiki, where he goes on a troll hunt?
Oh my god! So that was a previous episode, right? The one that was before him curing all the cancer and stuff.
Before he goes on his cancer cure binge.
That killing all the internet trolls videos. Killing all the internet trolls episode was just. It felt like every guy who's angry on the internet's like fantasy. It's just like. I'm gonna beat you up in real life. You wouldn't say that shit to my face in real life, would you?
Yeah. That was great. His mother fortunately commits suicide, and then he just goes on this rampage of I'm gonna find you, and you can't hide from me. And on one hand, you could question, how the hell does he shoot out of computers? But then you just think, what, advanced robotics, whatever.
Yeah, I'm thinking to myself, huh? That's kind of it doesn't make much sense at all. But at a certain point in the episode, you're just you don't care anymore. You're just it's just awesome to see. He's him assassinating all these basement dweller people who are just scrounging around what they call on the.
Well, I think 2chan actually does exist.
Does
it? It is actually a real thing.
Really? Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's the more Japanese. Let me check. Yep. A Japanese text board. It's basically Japan's 4chan.
Okay. So, yeah. So Japan's 4chan, it basically how to outlash on those guys, and wow, that was strangely satisfying to watch. To see someone being able to get back at people on the internet
and actually target them.
Yeah,
I did love the scene where the guy thinks he's survived him just because he moved out of the view of his computer screen, and then Shishigami just goes to another computer screen.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. He could just find their addresses properly, right? And just,
he's super internet connecting hyper hacker thing with my computer alien god mech suit.
Yeah. So,
it's definitely and then the scene where he massacres all the reporters, where he's
God, that was. Man, that was really kind of heartbreaking to see how his parents reacted to all that, after finding out about him, Shishigami's mother committing suicide and apologizing out of order, she apologized to the TV cameras, and then it's I don't know how to say sorry and to forgive his sins. And she commits suicide, and his father was please don't kill me.
And then he finds out about it where they're making fun of it on a talk show.
Oh, yeah. Were they making fun of him on 2chan?
Well, they're not on 2chan. He finds out about his mom's suicide when they're it's a Japanese talk show.
Oh, yeah.
His mom committed suicide. Oh, she's such a shame.
No, they weren't saying that. It was a emergency broadcast that his mom died. It was written out, but it wasn't that they were saying it.
Oh, okay.
It was
it was on a regular other program.
It was a regular, funny TV show, and then the report scrolled letters of Shishigami's mom died, but they didn't the TV show people didn't actually know what was happening. It's, emergency broadcasting.
Yeah, which makes sense. Yeah, I guess that makes sense, and more when you play it out. But it was very cathartic and weirdly rooting for his sociopathic self to get revenge on internet trolls.
Yeah.
And they're all like, "Yeah, fight me! I know karate." And it's also kind of terrifying since he's an omnipotent tech god. You were pretty pleased, and I forget, was that in the episode or the episode after that where he sort of tells the girlfriend about who he is? I think it was the episode after.
Yeah, I think it's the episode after, because he's still depressed, and then she finds out about him, and she's like, "Oh, I don't want to believe it. I don't want to believe you're actually a machine." And he takes her flying, and they fall in love.
It was a really nice mix from it was a good transition from sociopath to more traditional superhero narrative.
Yeah, but what's weird to me, I feel like he still doesn't really care that much about helping people. He just wants to do it for his girlfriend.
Yeah.
He doesn't have any other motivation. He even asked her, "Does this make you happy? Are you happy still if I do this?" And she's like, "Yes." It's okay, I'll keep doing it.
Yeah. That's pretty apt. That's a pretty
after all we know about his character, it's just it doesn't seem like he has a lot of real attachment to strangers at all.
No, absolutely not. And he even explains it that part of his incident was his curiosity at seeing the guy who got run over by a train, and he only feels alive when he sees other people dying, and the more they beg for life, the more he feels like a spark, especially in his machine stealth, where he is even more disconnected than he might have been before, and he didn't have the power, but he still kind of wishes he was human.
Yeah. Exactly. And towards the end of the episode, we got kind of a cliffhanger with the SWAT team coming in while he's asleep.
Bad shit's gonna happen. Before we get into that episode and his character arc, give me a score. What do you think of episode 6? What would you give it? The Internet Troll Massacre.
That was so. It was so amazingly awesome. I think I give it that was a 9. That was a 9 for me.
Yeah, I agree. That was a 9 episode. It was, it was violent and shocking and fun and cathartic, and it's everything you'd want in Inuyashiki, and it feels the kind of thing that you wouldn't see in this kind of storyline anywhere else except for good old Japan, and also from the mind of the crazy Gantz guy.
So it's he thought up of a way to for people, crazy omnipotent godlike techno machine people to get back at internet trolls, and it did it in a way that probably wasn't too believable, but it just
it makes sense for this universe,
maybe halfway believable, through some kind of weird alien technology.
Well, it's interesting. This guy obviously makes manga that's targeted towards those kind of people. So it's almost does he hate his fan base? Is this what he really thinks of the people who have Gantz vinyl figurines with big tits riding on motorcycles?
He always does this social commentary though on those kinds of people. I think he really despises those kinds of people though.
But maybe it's self-hatred because I don't know, all of his stuff is big science fiction stuff with busty women mostly, and there's so much pinup art, and he uses his good old experience as a former hentai artist to its fullest effect.
I feel like he really likes writing about the worst in people, the worst, absolute worst in society, and how disgusting it is a lot of the time.
I don't deny that.
So I don't know if he's really necessarily writing for those people so much as he's just he's just really disgusted by that and wants to see it like suffer. Like he wants to see like, you know, he wants that cathartic moment of like, yes, you know, that part of society is like getting their curmudgeons or whatever.
Getting their due, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds pretty apt. And he does like, you know, he hates those people and his like essentially his fan base, seemingly just because how he treats them. So what do you think of Shishigami's redemption in the second episode, or quasi redemption? Were you rooting for him to like become like good? Did you like this sweet scene where he has like the superhero Superman moment where he's flying his little girlfriend around and like healing people of cancer?
Well, I thought the girlfriend was like sweet in her own like kind of. It's kind of like I felt really sorry. I felt really sorry for her. Like just like she
was like in
she
such
felt
forced
for
denial.
this. Yeah, it's just like completely in denial about Shishigami, and like she's so like obsessed with him that
I hope they catch the real killer.
Yeah. But she seems kind of sweet besides that. But I didn't really feel like there was any real redemption from Shishigami. He just like sort of changed his actions because of his girlfriend. Like we know from Shishigami that, you know, previously he didn't care about what strangers, you know, what happened to strangers. Yeah. Or, you know, the death of strangers. So I think he's just doing this basically to, you know, make his girlfriend happy.
Pretty much. Like, you could almost say that, like, it's an inverse, that, like, he sees that the things that are making her happy is making him feel alive versus, like, you know, seeing people, like, screaming for death used to make him feel alive.
You don't see, like, a huge character change in him, within him, while, you know, while you see him heal a bunch of people. You kind of just see the same, like, Shishigami reactions to everything. Like, he's still, like, kind of, like, you know, kind of like cold, blank smile, you know, towards everything. He's not, you don't really see him feel for things like you do, like with the old man, for example. Like,
yeah, true. Where he really seems like he's enjoying it, and he's like, he's just doing it to make her happy, and that's making him happy in a way.
Yeah.
But, you know, there are some sweet superhero moments, but obviously at this point, you know, he could save 100 people or 1,000 people and cure cancer all across the world, and that's not necessarily going to redeem him in the public eye.
I think Shishigami probably misses his mom so much that, like, maybe he's kind of transferring his feelings about his lost mom to his new girlfriend. And
yeah, there might be some truth to that. It's a little bit of a stretch, but I can accept that as a good interpretation.
It's like he's, you know, his mom was like kind of like the all-loving, you know, woman in his life, you know, that cared for him, loved for him, you know, through thick and thin. But like when he told his mom about, like, you know, how he was a killer, like how, like, what would she do if she knew that he was a killer? Like, she reacted kind of she acted pretty negatively to that, because, you know, obviously killing people is bad.
Yeah.
But hold on, I gotta ignore this call and put my phone on airplane.
Oh no, we're gonna edit this part of the video.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe it's Shishigami.
Shishigami's calling me, and he's gonna assassinate me through my phone.
He's gonna kill you. He knows
don't
about
ignore
your Twitch stream.
Don't ignore my call. Bang.
There you go. He's coming after all the web people.
Oh my god. Actually, we shouldn't say this out loud, because Shishigami could actually come and kill us. It'd be like, it's kind of like, you think of it like the Candyman. Like, the Candyman when you
don't
sing
say his name. God, I almost wonder if that'll become like a real thing in the 4chan. Like 4chan avatar. Don't say the name. He's going to send it to you. Shishigami's going to come after you.
Yeah.
You say his name too many times.
Oh my god. That would be like God. That's like Yeah, it could be a new meme, kind of like
Yeah, I don't know. I
spooky
don't think it
meme.
will. I don't think Inuyashiki, as far as I can tell, is like that embraced by the anime culture, as far as I know. But I haven't dug too deeply into it.
I don't
It,
see
it,
why it shouldn't. Honestly, I think
oh
this
no,
anime really should propel it.
I'm enjoying it. I think it's a great adaptation, and I'm enjoying the heck out of it. So, what would you give the second episode if you for a rating?
Um, I'd say it's about an 8. It was
Yeah,
it
yeah, it
was
was a little bit slower, a little bit more slow paced. Well, didn't have any oh wow moments, but I thought this stuff that was sweet worked surprisingly well, and it makes you feel vaguely sympathetic towards him. That he's like, he wants to reform, but he murdered a bunch of news people, so that's not going to be such an easy thing to do.
yeah. It's just kind of like a really fast jump from like killing a bunch of news reporters to like, okay, I'm gonna start healing people, and like people are gonna start like his girlfriend is gonna start like like trusting him. Like
Yeah.
she kind of seems a little bit too optimistic about this. Like I almost feel like uh, her character is a little bit odd to me. Like she wants to believe like he's not a killer, but like even after believing he's not a killer, she's kind of like whatchamacallit. It doesn't seem like she's reacting in a sane way. Like
In a
Like,
100% believable way. Well, I guess
Like-
you still think she's hot, and he, wants to like see what she can do to like change him. The classic like, oh, he's bad, but I can fix him
But
kind of mentality.
she wasn't like reacting in a way like, oh, please don't kill me, kind of way. Like I
Well,
hope
he
you don't
didn't really
kill me.
her up until the point where like he's like, I'm gonna show you what I really look like when I'm flying around, and then he almost kills her when he's like threatens to drop her, but then he,
Yeah.
his better interest like comes and takes over.
Like he's like holding on to her by like 2 fingers or something, right?
Yeah,
And she's
yeah,
not,
exactly.
and she doesn't seem like concerned at all that he's gonna drop her. Like even though he showed her basically like he's like machine now, and like he was able, and telling her, confessing it to her that he was the killer. Like it just feels a little bit kind of like not in the mind of a sane person for her to react the way she reacted.
Yeah, I could give that. It feels a little bit, but people love hot people, and people on the line are saying, "Oh, Shishigami's hot." He's like, the voice still doesn't quite convince me that he's like light, but he's an attractive-ish character design. All right, so 8 and 9, those seem like good scores. I think that finishes up another great week of Inuyashiki, which was 10 times better than Black Clover, is on its best.
Yeah, for sure.
Going in a good place. We're going to get to see all of this animated, and it's great. I'm very pleased, and I hope you were watching along with us for our favorite salaryman superhero. Oh, yeah. Well, what do you think of that storyline with, like, the woman who has cancer, and then she looks, like, horribly ugly and distraught, and then, she becomes attractive once her cancer is cured?
I thought that was an okay storyline. Like, yeah, it was fine. It just, I didn't have any it wasn't the most amazing thing. Like you kind of saw like sort of a mile away like what was gonna happen because
Yeah, that's true.
but it kind of felt like it was like having a real human impact with what he was doing, like curing people, even if he didn't feel the human impact himself.
That he was still having an impact on other people.
Yeah, exactly. I guess his actions, his actions were, human, even if he didn't.
Even if he wasn't, even if he just had the cold, hard soul of a robot.
Yeah.
That makes sense. All right, so I think that wraps up our thoughts we enjoyed this week's, this double review of the double episodes of Inuyashiki for us.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, T-Blocks. T-Blocks is the best. Go ask for Inuyashiki t-shirts from
Yes.
T-Blocks. Maybe they have one. I don't know. They supposedly have lots of brands. But you can find out by typing in, the Lobster code and get 10% off of whatever you do order. It's great. Everyone loves T-Blocks. You should love T-Blocks. T-Blocks is the best.
Sounds like a pretty good deal. 10% off.
Yeah. Like I said, the power of the most expensive seafood to get you the cheapest t-shirts.
Yeah.
I had some lobster bisque today. It was pretty good.
Oh, cool.
You know what made that lobster bisque even better? Having some T-Blocks with it.
Yeah, nice follow-up. It was good.
So remember, lobster's and tennis, but don't you grab it.
Do you like clothes but hate shopping? Then T-Blocks is the subscription service for you. But I know what you're thinking. But Lobster, how is that any different than Loot Crate or the other subscription services? Well, T-Blocks sends you t-shirts, which is clothing, which is actually useful, unlike the useless swag junk that Loot Crate keeps peddling on gullible schmucks. And this isn't just knockoff brand crap. T-Blocks hooks you up with licensed shirts for all the stuff you love, because you need clothes. How else are you going to keep your puny human man flesh protected from the elements? T-shirts are useful for any occasion. Wear them, give them to friends, give them to enemies, knit them together, make a quilt. T-shirts are life. And you know the best part? It'll only cost you $6.99. That's right, you can get 12 shirts sent to you for once a month for only $6.99. And you know what? If ultra cheap licensed goods are too basic for you, then there's also the Community T-Block set, which features original designs from the best up-and-coming artists, so you can keep that hipster street cred. But I'm here to save you even more money! Use the code LOBSTERTBX at checkout, and you'll save 10% on any order. Be a t-shirt wearing God amongst mortals. Use the power of the most expensive seafood to get you the cheapest t-shirts now!
Lobsters made of light.